What's up, guys? MikeO back, and today I'm doing another Mailday recap, but unlike usual, I'm not sitting there just recording this. I'm actually broadcasting it live here on YouTube, so hopefully you guys can participate in the chat. I'll probably look at the chat a lot more after I get through the cards, but, I'll try and acknowledge some of it while I can. And then for you guys all of you who are watching this later, hopefully you enjoy it, and I do like the new feature on YouTube that lets the chat replay with the video. So that's pretty awesome. That's a really cool feature that YouTube has going, which is, of course, awesome for people who interact. So thanks for checking it out. Just bump the camera a little bit, and we'll get right into this. So this mail day consists of direct purchases from Topps, some eBay purchases, some 4 Sharp Corners purchases, and then an epic package here from Jack's Graphs, my buddy down in Florida who helps me out with spring training the last couple years. Chris is an awesome guy. You guys should check out his channel, Jack's Graphs. I'll try and link it below later if I can. What's up, Jason? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Axel, Scott, a whole bunch of guys who have popped in, so I appreciate it. So let's hop right into this. So first up, going to show a purchase coming from Topps. This is from the Topps Living Set. Here's the box it actually comes in. I'll grab that real quick for you. Comes in this nifty little box, really cool design. And these come out every week or so. And they're awesome. They release 3 cards. They usually release 1 big name and then 2 lesser names. And I'm really happy to pick up these Rhys Hoskins. I picked up 20 of them, and they're really nice. So really happy to pick these up. I think it's a brilliant move by Topps. They've sold a ton of them. The first release was Aaron Judge, and then since then they released Rhys Hoskins, Ohtani, which sold I think 20,000 copies. Derek Jeter was this past week. Bryce Harper's the newest one, but they're fantastic for team collectors or player collectors. So had to pick up the Hoskins, picked up a little number of them. I'd like to get one signed. It's a little tight window for a signature, but I think it'd be kind of neat. I'll probably look at a few for grading and add them to my collection. So nice purchase of the Rhys Hoskins there. Very cool. And Hoskins has been crushing it. I know there's a lot of debate in the hobby, like is he going to be for real or not? But so far this year, he's looked really good. And obviously, he was really good last year. All right, next up, we've got Scott Kingery. This is a Topps Now purchase. So technically, this is his first Major League release card. This is really the first rookie card of him that was released. He'll be in a lot of products this year for sure. And he has, of course, had his 2015 Bowman and Bowman Chrome pre-rookie cards, technically. People always usually collect those, and then they'll collect the official rookie card releases. And Topps Now, from card to card, there are some cards that go for a lot don't. But I thought this was really neat, and I actually had meant to order more, and I did not get around to it. Definitely want to try and get one of these signed for sure. And then, I'll look at a few maybe for grading, stuff like that. And then there's a couple that will be going to some people who are friends of mine and family and stuff like that. But this is a really sweet Kingery. So happy to pick that up. This kid has been playing really well as well. He's been crushing it in the minors and spring training the last few years. And now that he's had his chance in the majors, he's making the most of it. Hit a grand slam last night. So he's off to a really good start. Want to acknowledge real quick Eric Frick. Thanks for joining, man, or Fick. And then Jerome, Yankees cards. What's up, buddy? Appreciate it. And then you got Roblox in there. Just trying to get some attention, obviously. So have fun there, pal. Next up, we've got some eBay purchases. Here's a nice Rhys Hoskins from Gypsy Queen. I'm a huge fan of this year's Gypsy Queen. Beautiful looking cards. Awesome card stock. I actually just sent a few out to hopefully get signed. This Hoskins is the Indigo parallel, numbered to 250, so it's a nice one there. And I think the blue's nice. They have a few different parallels. The black and white is my favorite of the parallels. Some of the different colored ones I'm usually not a fan of, but Indigo works. It works, I should say, with the Phillies. Like purple parallels I don't like with Phillies, but I do think the purple looks good with, say, Nolan Arenado with the Rockies, so that's a really cool one there. I don't think so. No, I did not. Next up, this is eBay purchase. This is from Topps Retired, which is awesome. So Topps Retired, these are from the mid-2000s, I would say. They're chrome cards with signatures on them, and they are awesome looking, absolutely beautiful. They come encapsulated usually. Well, I'm sure this one did and got broken out of it. But this is awesome here, the Greg Lazinski. Now, Lazinski is not someone whose autograph goes for much, even though he was really good. But he's so easy to get an autograph of. I mean, if you're in Philadelphia, it's kind of hard not to get his autograph, honestly. He signs so much. But these cards are great. They have the career statistics on them, which is awesome. They just look awesome. And I've picked some up over the years, and lately I've been looking for some of the Philadelphia Phillies ones they've made. So I picked up the Lazinski. You don't see them pop up too often, so I probably paid for a little more for the Lazinski than I should have. Probably cost me like $12, $13, which is a lot for him. This one was not too bad, though, and it's an amazing card. It's Steve Carlton. Carlton's stuff doesn't go super high because he just signs so much. He's a Hall of Famer who has taken advantage of that status and signed a lot over the years. And I wouldn't say this is the best of the Carlton autos out there. It doesn't look bad in person. It can look dark, obviously, depending on how you hold it here on camera. But it's decent overall. Got it one of the days. I think this is one of the 15% off promotions, and it wasn't too expensive anyway, so happy about that. And then here is the third and final Topps Retired I picked up, and it's Bob Boone. So nice card overall. The casing isn't in great shape. Might even bust it out of there. Awesome looking card though. Got this one for $6.63, I believe, on eBay. And it actually had free shipping. The guy mailed it in a PWE, believe it or not. A card in a holder that thick. So that's kind of ridiculous. But it came and it required $3, $3 postage due. So yeah, I probably, you could have considered refusing it, but the mail guy actually just left it for me, and he left a note and said, hey, hit me up tomorrow with the $3. So I was like, all right, oh well. And I emailed the guy on eBay, and I was kind of like, you know, just to let you know, this cost me $3. It's kind of ridiculous. You really should probably mail it in a bubble mailer. It's going to cost first class $3. And I was hoping he would send me the $3. If he didn't, no big deal. It wasn't an expensive card overall. Anyway, he actually refunded me for the entire purchase, so I can't complain about that. That's a cool addition to the collection for sure. What's up, JD? Jason Inc. I agree. I've said that to a few people. I don't know how it didn't tear out. It's not even like he put it in the PWE and taped it over. Like, it was, I have no idea how it made it. What's up, Bearded Yeti? So next up, guys, before I get into the autograph returns from Florida, I've got these Slabbed cards, some nice encapsulated cards, and these are from 4 Sharp Corners. So we're going to get into them. First up, none of these are real expensive cards. They're all pretty cheap. They ran like a 15% off sale, something last week, so I jumped on a few cards for the collection. So I picked up this 2013 Allen & Ginter Mike Schmidt Gem Mint 10. This is the across the years insert. Just thought, you know, I'm a Phillies collector, I'm a Ginter collector. It's a really sweet Mike Schmidt, and it's really cheap. So sorry about that, Bearded Yeti. Phil's played pretty well, but we'll see. So this Schmidt's really cool. Happy to add that to the collection. Next up, got a Cal Ripken from 1989 Topps, Gem Mint 10. The Schmidt was 10 too, I'm sure you guys saw. The Ripken I picked up mostly just to add to my set registry. It's the only set registry I ever started, was the 89 Topps Hall of Famer set registry. So I needed the Ripken. Got it nice and cheap, so very cool there. Next up, a card that I remember from my childhood. This has always been one of my favorites. The 1990 Donruss Mike Schmidt. It was kind of an all-time great kind of bonus card, really. And it's just sweet. I don't know why. I mean, 90 Donruss, I just grew up on it, so I always liked the look of it, even though kind of an odd coloring and odd design overall, but really nice. This has his career highlights and career stats. So PSA 10, I think this costs like $7. So considering what it costs to get cards graded, to me, it's like, well, you're getting a Gem Mint 10. I mean, you know, it's not an expensive card as it is, but really cool to have one slabbed in the collection. Graphing is when people go out and acquire autographs. People go out and they seek autographs. People call it graphing. Here's a 1965 Topps Wes Covington. There's a nice one here. Near mint to mint plus 8.5. I actually picked this one up for my dad. I'm going to give it to him hopefully later, sometime soon. He just always has told me he liked Wes Covington for some reason when he grew up. He was one of the guys he liked that wasn't a star or anything like that, or not a superstar, I should say, at the very least. So, again, this is really cheap, so pick this up. This is for the Patriots collection. It's a Donruss Elite from 1996, Curtis Martin Silver, Gem Mint 10, PSA 10. Just thought it was a nice card. I like the old Elites. It's numbered to 10,000, which is outrageous by today's standards, but when you actually look back on the hobby, so many things just get lost in the shuffle. So many things end up in collections forever. You know, while it's not a super rare card, you don't see them as much as you'll see certain cards now that are numbered to 250. So that was another cool card. These were all fairly cheap. That's why I picked them up in this order. It's 2010 Topps Tom Brady, 1952 Bowman. Just like the design of it. Love the old style cards. Another Gem 10. I think that's all I bought was Gem 10s. And wanted to add that to the Brady PC. We've got a Brady here on 2005 Topps. It's a Turn Back the Clock, Gem 10. So really nice. Little string of Brady's. The rest of these might be Brady's. This is from the Elite Series insert from 2017 Panini Donruss. Again, this was at a price point where if I went and bought the card raw for a couple dollars and then took the chance to get it graded, it probably wouldn't be worth it. You're better off just buying the Gem 10 if you want. And I really don't buy brand new cards. I don't really like to buy them less than Gem 10. So just thought it was a neat card. It's got that kind of retro look from the 90s with the Elite Series stuff. A lot of nice shine. Just a cool design. So happy to pick that one up. Here is a 2015 Topps 60th Anniversary Brady. Beautiful card. PSA Gem Mint 10. And the last card is actually back to baseball. It's a Mike Trout. This is hand-drawn art from 2017 Topps Gypsy Queen. Got a Gem 10 portrait art reproduction card. It's a decent card. I like these. I like these art cards sometimes. Some of them are a little more realistic than others, but, you know, it's nice. I collect Trout. I do find myself now with the slab cards. I always collect Brady. I collect Trout. I pick up a lot of Harpers, and then, you know, I'll pick up the random Phillies and other things here and there, but there's just something about the slabs that I've said it time and time again. It just enhances the overall appeal of the card to me. It protects it. It just adds a little bit of value monetary-wise. It adds some value to get stuff sold or into someone's collection. You have the set registry stuff, which is always something big. So when you can get them cheap enough, you know, they don't have to be big-time rookie cards. You know, you can add plenty of stuff to your collection at an affordable price. So catching up on the comments once again, we've got Nolan in here. So what's up, Nolan? Appreciate you joining. What does it cost to send a PSA? Well, like Nolan said, it depends on the service level. At this point, just to randomly send a card out, it's probably like 20 bucks. Plus, if you only send one card, they're going to charge you like $18 return shipping. So it's really, unless you have a monster card, it's certainly not worth sending one card. So there's a bunch of different levels you can get, but they really don't have many specials at this point anymore. So your best bet is getting in group submissions, or, you know, if you have enough stuff, you can send them off on your own. You can do your own group stuff, but it gets really pricey really quick. All right, so I showed, actually, I was going to say I showed off all the cards. This came out of a group break. This is a Randy Moss, numbered 1 of 3, the Diamond from Flawless. says Panini Diamond is guaranteed by Panini, but Panini's guaranteed a few things over the years. So I did some group breaks, and I actually hopped into a few Patriot ones early before the checklist was released, and I kind of thought to myself, hopefully Brady's in there. He actually didn't sign in flawless this year, which kind of hurt a little bit. I didn't hit much in the Patriot stuff other than this, and I don't know what this goes for, but I'm probably going to go ahead and most likely move it to try and recoup some money, only because, you know, I chase the autographs. I like the autographs in flawless. It's not worth breaking at all. You can try your luck with a group break here and there. Their autos are beautiful, but I'm not really into the gems and all that stuff. So I'll probably look in to see what that's selling at and then move on from there. All right, next up, got a stack of stuff from spring training. So again, shout out to Jack's Graphs. He really hooked it up. And first thing I'm going to show off is an absolute failure by me. I've showed a few people this. So I was flipping through these cards, just checking them out. And, you know, they're all in soft sleeves, well packed. But this one slipped out. This Nick Williams, which is beautiful out of Bowman Platinum. And I'm sitting there at the desk. It slipped out. And my natural reaction was to, like, slam my legs shut to keep it from hitting the ground, which it probably wouldn't even have dinged the corner, most likely, the way it fell. Well, it got caught like that. And yeah, I destroyed this one. So a nice giant crease right down there. So epic fail by me. We all make mistakes, though, so oops, that sucks, but again, it happens. Yeah, that moss card is really nice. It's just, to me, you can get ahead of yourself and want to start keeping everything, and, you know, I'm not at the point where I can just keep everything. I'm probably going to move it, and that way I can recycle those funds into the collection for something I'd more likely to collect. So, all right, here's some of the stuff that Chris got me. He got me a Bobby Abreu with the on the Allen and Ginter, and that's just awesome. Abreu, really underappreciated player. He was a really good player. He's done a lot of things that a lot of guys don't do. He's on a lot of lists. You know, he's not a Hall of Fame player or anything like that, but certainly a really good player. And if you actually look at his certified stuff out of, like, Tribute, they go for nothing, but have a lot of memories watching him play, so that's awesome. Here's one of him featured in the Angels uni, so that's a pretty cool one there. What's up, Ian? This is really nice here. Sixto Sanchez. This guy has unbelievable ability. He's still young. He's a pitcher. I think it's really hard to prospect on pitchers. I mean, it's hard enough to prospect as it is, even with position players. Pitchers are really tough because just so many of them get hurt, and you know, you end up losing like a year or something. So we'll see. This guy, a lot of people have compared him to a young Pedro Martinez. That's a lot to live up to, but if you actually look at all his stuff out of Bowman last year, Bowman Chrome, his stuff's pretty pricey at this point. So we got two of them, so that's really nice. I actually got a TTM back recently from Andrew Knapp. Well, here's a completed one, Andrew Knapp and Ben Lively. What kind of name is Sixto? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting names there now, Jerome. Here's Ricardo Pinto. He was with the Phils last year. Jake Thompson, another one for the Ginter collection. He actually had a save the other night, right? Got the save in a game that the Phillies won 20-1, but he pitched the last 3 innings, and statistically that is considered a save, so that was interesting. He was also optioned to AAA following that game, so hey, man, good job getting us a save. You're going back to AAA. Jose Tavares, Phillies prospect. You got a Mitch Walding, Phillies prospect, another Mitch Walding. Kevin Gowdy, this guy, he has a lot of ability, but another one of those guys, he ended up needing Tommy John surgery, so that kind of sets him back a year. Cornelius Randolph, it's a nice one. He was a first-round pick, but unfortunately, he really hasn't done a lot. He's one of those guys at this point I'd actually be shocked if he reaches the major leagues at any point. Zach Eflin, he's back down in AAA. He'll be up with a big team at some point, I'm sure. He's been all right. He's a minor league guard. There's another Nick Williams, big home run the other night. So he has a scribbly autograph for sure. Here's Nick Williams on his 2018 Topps. Larry Boa. Another Larry Boa. TTM legend, Pat Neshek. Adam Rosales, he was with the Phils this spring. Didn't end up making the team. Hustles around the bases with the best of them. Here's an Aaron Nola. Not bad. He has a Rush signature when he signs in person now. Jared Eichhoff on the Gypsy Queen. Mark Leiter Jr., his pops was with the Phils for quite a while. Well, for a couple years, at the latter part of his career. So he kind of grew up living in Philadelphia, and now he pitches for the Phils. There's a Luis Garcia. This is the Topps red parallel from a few years ago. The autograph probably looks a little better in person than it does on camera. The red is pretty intense. There's Tommy Joseph, who ended up not making the team. He's with the Texas organization here. Looks really good on the Gypsy Queen. It's a Topps bunt. Nick Pivetta in blue. Another Pivetta on the 2018 Topps. We got a Pivetta and Ricardo Pinto. So the Phillies autograph collection definitely getting a boost here. Thomas Eshelman, this guy's been really good in the minors. We'll see what that relates to in the majors. There's a Pinto. Jojo Romero. Ben Lively. Odubel Herrera. Heritage are always really nice signed. And a Darren Ruff on that Heritage from a couple years ago, which is also beautiful. So Chris is just, he's a nice guy. He really hooked it up big time. And it wasn't just that. That's what he got me from our 50-50. He also sent this to me, Adam Hazley. He was the Phillies' first-round pick last year. And we'll see how he works out, but here's an autographed baseball, which I had upside down. So there you go. 2017 first round, Adam Hazley. And that is on an official Major League Baseball, which obviously these baseballs are really pricey. If you go into your local Walmart, Target, they're going to be like 20 bucks, if not 25. And not only that, he actually hooked it up with 2 team sets from the Clearwater Threshers, minor league team down there. I guess this is from a year or two ago. I was going to flip through these pretty quick, but Victor Rhino actually pitched for the Phils shortly. And is J.P. Crawford, who's with the Phils now, is their shortstop. And I know there is Mr. Kingery in here somewhere. Ricardo Pinto. Ramos, this guy was with the Phils. He's awful. It's just fun going back and looking at this stuff. Well, these aren't old, but I like adding all this stuff to the collection. It's awesome. I love all the high-value rookie cards and autos and all that, but I like collecting just guys I've watched, guys on the Phils, stuff like that. So that's all awesome as well. So here's Thomas Eshelman again. Hopefully he gets a shot in the majors this year. That'd be nice. Matt Imhoff. Really bad story. He actually got hurt working out, and something snapped on equipment, and he ended up losing an eye over it, and that ended his career. Here's a Scott Kingery. Kingery has been amazing since his call-up. He'll be one of the hot rookies this year. Obviously, Ohtani is the cream of the crop with the international interest, the pitching, hitting interest, all that. You know, his stuff's going to be crazy all year. And then you have Devers, who I think still has a chance to catch fire. He's got a chance to be a good player. Hoskins, who's been, he's been really good again this year so far. But Kingery, I think, will be in a lot of products. I think he'll be hot too. And then if Acuna gets called up and he's in products later this year, I think you got another really exciting rookie crop this year in the collecting world. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that develops and evolves this year. I think it's good for the hobby overall. You don't want to see these guys crash and burn, at least not right away, because I think that's bad for the hobby. It gets people kind of disappointed and stuff like that. But I think there's a really renewed interest in this hobby, I still believe. And I think even the sport of baseball, to a degree, a lot of these young stars are helping things out. So That's gonna wrap up all the mail I have. This video went a little longer than anticipated, but I will definitely chat for a minute or two. If you guys have anything to bring to the table, let me know. It's really difficult to read all these comments, so I'll look real quick. TTM Gary, what's up, buddy? Good luck when you're in Reading. Ian, what's going on, man? Just a few little shout outs. Blake, what's up, Blake? I have not slabbed a whole lot of old stuff, and here and there, and I've done okay. I probably need work with the vintage stuff. I just don't have a lot of my own stuff. I think if I did some boxes, if I broke some stuff, I think I would consider it for sure. I don't have a lot of my personal old stuff, and I don't know. I could buy some more stuff on eBay and stuff like that. I usually don't trust a lot of the old stuff. I feel like it comes beat up pretty often. The next group submission will probably most likely be in May. There we go. Gotta lower this. These lights are brutal now. They're way too overlit. You see an old camera there. Or not an old camera. Not my regular camera. So I'm just trying to look up at this computer monitor. What's up, Jaguars? Someone asked about a group submission. That's gonna most likely be in May. I didn't come up with a date yet. I actually have to go post. I have one that isn't that old. I'm waiting for another big order, and another 200 some card order just looked like it's starting to pop in, so that's surprising. Watching the Flyers? No, I am not. I forgot. I guess their playoffs start tonight. I'm like, I'll probably watch the Phillies instead. I'm just more baseball oriented. TTM starter kit? You can already buy one of them if it's still for sale. Not from me, but from Troy Rutter. He had them up for sale. Jason Torres trying to get me started on a rant, asking me how much I love Panini. Jason, you know I'm not a Panini fan. I just don't care for Panini overall. I mean, they make some beautiful stuff, don't get me wrong. That Moss card is a very nice looking card. But for $1,200 a box, forget it. And all their lower end stuff all has the sticker autos, and I just personally don't collect sticker autos. And in terms of baseball, the no logos, I'm not a fan of that at all. I'll do okay with the Reading. Good luck with your graphing, Eric. It can be a lot of work. I'm sure you can get some good stuff on eBay for sure. I bought a lot of the old stuff's probably actually easier. I think the chrome stuff is tough on eBay from years ago. Not in terms of, I mean, you can obviously tell certain things, but I think the surface can be really hard to tell from just pictures, but we'll see. I'd like to continue to do more slabbing and learn more and more. If you need details on stock, just email me, MikeORZ111@gmail.com. Nolan, yeah, I mean, Topps makes a lot of stuff, of course, but I feel like Panini does the same thing, and they all kind of do the same thing because that's what they got to do, I guess. I mean, I would like to see them focus a little more and not go crazy with stuff, but I actually think the future of Topps is going to be kind of interesting to see what they end up doing because the stories came out. a month ago or so about what are they going to do in terms of are they going to sell that part of the company. Because some people don't know, Topps, most like 80% of the revenue comes from their candy sales. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, the high end stuff I usually don't do a lot of. Flawless, I actually usually with Flawless I buy some singles here and there just for collection stuff. I I got into a few breaks this year just for the hell of it, and I didn't do great with it. But I know some people like group breaks and some people don't like them. I think they're fine. You have to if you're gonna get into the breaks, um, you got to know who you're dealing with, and then you got to kind of understand what you can get out of it. Some people join breaks and they think they're going to get something big, and they don't even look at a checklist and realize like, oh, they don't. There's not even any hits for the team I just bought and stuff like that. But I think it can be good. I even last year I would buy into a lot of Phillies breaks because I wanted to. I was going to buy some of that stuff anyway, and they were really cheap. They had a lot of hits, just nothing super high end, and I did all right with it last year. I mean, doing breaks is fun once in a while, but I do think it's a lot of stuff's getting open, and you'll see the prices soar. At least on baseball, it happened last year. It's happening this year. Part of it is the Judge and Otani factor, and the fact that this freaking light is way too bright. The those guys, they're so hot, and you see so many cards going at such high values. It's getting people into the gambling spirit, and that's driving the prices of these boxes and products too. But also the breakers ripping everything open and everyone being out of it is doing the same thing as well. And it's always fun to. There's been a lot of people are anti-opening products, and I think to sit there and just open stuff nonstop. I think to open nothing is just as ridiculous, in my opinion. Like breaking product, opening cards, that's part of the thrill and part of the fun of the hobby. It might not be for everyone, and that's fine. But, buying some cheap stuff that's not that expensive, it can be fun, and there's value to be gotten out of that. You can get rookies, you can get inserts, you can get parallels, you can get all that kind of stuff. If you're into the grading, you can enhance that value a little bit. So I think there's a lot of ways you can break stuff and have fun, not break the bank on it. Obviously, a lot of products are outrageous at this point. I mean, I know so far through baseball seeing you have Topps. Heritage is really expensive now. And then Gypsy Queen has started to go up a little bit because of the Otani stuff. So I don't know what else. I think Bowman's the next thing coming out. That's out in maybe 3 weeks. What's up, Zachary? Hopefully you're doing all right. And then after that, I don't know. But I know once June comes, you're going to start having stuff roll out like every week. So it is pretty crazy. But you have the same thing with football as well. Panini does it. I think Score Football comes out in like 2 weeks too, which is crazy in my opinion. Haven't even had a draft yet. Yeah, the Otani factor, it might actually end up being worse than the Judge factor, which is hard to believe because stuff was nuts last year. The Judge thing was crazy, and a lot of it obviously a big part of it is because Judge was hitting all these home runs and all that stuff. But the biggest reason his stuff was as expensive as it was, it's because the guy's playing in New York. He's playing for the Yankees, an iconic franchise. And I know people don't like the Yankees and all that, but a lot of people do like the Yankees, and it's not just New York. It's across the country. So that's why stuff really got out of hand. And it was a good rookie class beyond that. I mean, you have a lot of guys that are kind of underappreciated. Alex Bregman, Benintendi. Moncada hasn't done a lot yet. I think he has the ability to do a lot, so we'll see. But there's a good rookie class last year, at least has the chance to be. And I think this year is shaping up to be very similar. I think you do have 5 or 6 really good quality rookies. And, the Otani market, it depends on what he does, of course. But like Nolan just said, the Japanese collectors, that may make it more expensive than the Judge market, because the Japanese collectors, they are ready and willing to spend. So, but at the same time, depending on what he does on the field, I mean, if he truly can consistently pitch the way he has, if he can hit the way he has, I mean, you're going to have a two-way star like we've never seen. So I think that, what he's doing on the field and that being so new, I think will truly, get people really excited for him and to collect his stuff. So, I mean, you're already seeing the Gypsy Queen rookie, which is it's not a short print or anything. I think they've sold like $17 to $25. And if you look at Judge from last year, his Gypsy Queen raw is like $5-6. So it's nuts. Bowman Hobby, $175 a box. That's ridiculous. You have to look. I mean, I know there's a few different levels of Bowman. I know there's jumbos and different stuff like that. But yeah, it sounds crazy. Because Heritage and Gypsy Queen were not expensive when they first came out, or when you could pre-order them, but they've jumped out big time. So it's I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I do think you need to I don't know, the Otani and the Judge stuff I think is good for the hobby in terms of bringing interest back to the hobby. But like Nolan, you put up that video. Was it last week, the buy and sell and all that stuff, which was an awesome video, well done, fun as hell to watch, really interesting, and it's hard to disagree with anything you really said on that. But I think these young guys do have a little bit of room to grow short term. Long term, I don't think it'll be hard for them to do enough to sustain that kind of price level at all. And interest wise, I think a guy like Judge, I'm not saying people should go out and pay the ridiculous prices his stuff goes for at all. But the only way he can kind of semi-hold that value is if he can do it for 10 or 11, 12 years, which I find hard to believe at his frame. He's got to win a few World Series and perform. So we'll see. He's came up older, like a lot of the younger guys. And Otani is only 23, but if you're going to pitch and hit, it's hard to believe he's going to be able to stay healthy that long, too. So you do have to be wary of the prices you pay on this stuff. I mean, people are going crazy with some of this. I mean, Pat Neshek just sold his Otani red auto out of Heritage. It was serial numbered 1 of 69, and he got $6,000 for a guy who's been playing in the majors for less than 2 weeks. So that's a little ridiculous for sure. Battery warning down to 10%, so this live video won't go too much longer. But I don't know. I think the products are fun. It's definitely fun to see a rejuvenation in the hobby. I don't know. It just feels different like it was for years there. Obviously, I think cards have been coming back. I think the hobby has been coming back for the last few years, but I think it's really jumped big time in the last 2. It just seems, because I base that not just on the people in the community here on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Card shows and all that. I've seen more local card shows around here, but I've also heard and met more people that are they're not even part of this community or anything. They don't even know about YouTube, that are getting back into cards or have brought up cards. And I think some of it, I think Topps has actually done a decent job advertising at baseball games. Going down to Phillies games, they actually advertise Topps on the big screen, and they've had promo stuff. So I think all that's played a factor as well. And then, like I said, the big time rookies and all that, I think definitely helps. And I think social media interaction helps a little bit too. I think it's pretty interesting to think, way back when I was younger, you never would have thought about messaging players. And now you have people who can follow them on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, and now and then have a comment read and stuff like that. So, any other thoughts from anyone before we wrap things up? Yeah, Black Label Pristine. $10,000 is a lot of money for a baseball card that's very modern. I get it with the old school like Mickey Mantles, where half of them ended up in the ocean or people throw them out. People's mothers threw them out. People beat them to hell. I get why that stuff has the value, but the brand new stuff, it's ridiculous. Some of the prices stuff goes for. You're out, Jaguars. All right, sounds good. Bink. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Did what, 20, 25 minutes of mail day and another 15 in discussing. So didn't really plan on doing a live video at all. I was actually going to record something. I actually noticed my phone didn't have enough space on it, and I didn't feel like getting down the big camera. So I was kind of like, let's just go live. So it was a good time. Had a lot of fun, and appreciate you guys for watching. I will talk to you next time.